Hey! So, last week we were making a nice picture of your objects to start our still life. And today I just want to talk a little bit about drawing from life, looking at a thing and trying to draw what you see. It is a hard skill, but just like almost all skills, the more you practice it, the better you get. It's just like if you're playing basketball and you try to shoot the ball into the hoop and you miss terribly. After you've done it probably 20 times, you can start doing it more and more and being better at actually getting it in. So you might draw something today and not be super happy with it, but that's okay because next time you'll be a tiny bit better, and the time after that you'll be a tiny bit better, and eventually you will be a great master like Mr. Galloway. No, I'm just kidding. But what we're gonna do, I'm gonna look at this little guy here. This is fun. And I'm gonna try to draw him using some drawing from life skills. Now, the first thing you want to think about is when you're drawing, you're looking at something and you're drawing it. You want to try to break it into shapes. If I look at this little dude, his head is kind of like an oval. His eyes are definitely circles, his nose is a circle, his little mug is a rectangle kind of. But if you imagine these as shapes, it's sometimes an easy way to start. So I'm looking at him. I'm gonna try to start with kind of like that little roundy oval that is his head, and I'll kind of sketch that out. He's got the little circle nose right in the middle, the little oval nose, circle nose, and I'll kind of sketch that out. I can shade it in a little so I know what I'm looking at. Bloop. He's almost got a little oval around it, kind of like this. He's got his little eyes that are circles, but you're kind of just spacing it out and looking and imagining the shapes. It's not going to be perfect, and that is okay. We're just starting and getting our main shapes down. We can always go back and neaten it up, okay? So what you're doing is last week you took a photo of your little still life object or objects, and I want you today to try to start drawing those things in. On a piece of paper, just see if you can kind of start sketching them. You're gonna look at them, you're gonna see if you can look at those shapes one at a time and start sketching it out. Now, I'm just kind of still going, I'm just doing one little part at a time. Once you draw one part, it's easier to put the next one in because you're just kind of going down, looking at it. Everything you see with your eye, you're trying to capture into your picture. So I'm kind of just sketching this little dude out. And this is just my little light sketch. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just drawing what I see the best I can. He's got his little feet here. I should have made that one a little bigger. And you'll notice I'm drawing lightly so that A, I can always kind of fix things I'm not happy with, and B, once I get it looking good, I can always go back and outline and make it look good. Now, this is kind of funny because I'm actually looking at this differently than you are. You guys are looking directly down at it. I'm looking at a weird little angle, so that's kind of funny too. But that's the good thing about the photo you took, is that what you're seeing there is going to be pretty much identical to how it is. So I'm going in, I'm adding my details, I'm kind of shading it, I'm putting the main things in. Now with yours, you probably have more than one object. So once you draw in one little dude, one little object, one little thing, you can start putting the other items around it. So let's just imagine that I had a pot behind him. I can kind of sketch that out. My little, I don't know what kind of plant. I'm just making this up from my head now, which isn't as good. You guys have a whole photo worth of things. I suppose Mr. Galloway should have had a picture, but I just want to kind of get you started today. So while you're sketching it out with pencil, I just want you to try to get it looking good. If you miss part of it and aren't happy with it, you can always go in and erase and kind of neaten. But by what your goal is to have everything kind of mapped out with pencil like that. So I want you to take your photo that you took last week and see if you can get a sketch, a drawing of that photo on a piece of paper with a pencil. Don't color it in, don't outline it yet, just try to get your sketch. That is your goal for the week. All right? So look at your photo you took last week, try to sketch it out. If you want, you could remake your still life, like put objects actually in front of you and look at them to draw them. That might be an even better way to get it looking good, if you wanted to use something besides that photo you drew. But I want your sketch on paper. That's your goal, ready for next week when we make it look even cooler. Okay, so sketch it out, do the best you can. I want to see what you can do. This is fine.